Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing today? Yeah, we gonna try to make a quick video real quick about the NCAA tournament and just some comments about like the love of basketball because I just heard Magic Johnson talking about you know how the NBA is not doing well and what they can do to fix it. So first and foremost, I just want to talk about the NCAA tournament real quick. Um, so I just want to give my final four, which is Auburn. No, it's not Auburn. I'm sorry. Michigan State, Duke, Houston, and Arkansas. And I have Arkansas over Michigan State, and I have Duke over Houston, and I have Arkansas winning it all. I really, really think that Arkansas getting Boogie Flan is going to be a huge boost for them. They've been playing with seven guys, now they're going to be playing with eight, and they're potentially going to get a Thu Thero back. If they get him back for the second weekend and they get through St. John's and Kansas, man, I really think they can go far, man. I think they're talent wise up there with anybody. Athletically, they're up there with anybody. Boogie Flan gives them the shooting that they need to kind of take that extra step. So I'm all in on Arkansas. I think Calipari is super hungry this year after losing his job to Kentucky. He has a point to prove. They could have easily quit after going on 5 in the SEC, and they didn't. They fought through it. They got injuries, still fought through it. You know, Boogie Flan go down, Athu Thero go down. They still fighting. So now that they're getting Boogie Flan out, and they've kind of gone through the other side of like trying to play hard and play through all the issues and still make the tournament. I think they're gonna really hit their stride now. Like I really do. They got DJ Wagner's playing well. Uh, Trevon Brazil is rebounding like a madman. Adu is finally starting to play like he he was brought into play like both him and Brazil are like double guys. Um, Billy Richmond has found his stride. He's looking like a good defender, guy that can get to the rim. Um, and Janelle Davis is playing great, but I think he's a big time tournament player. So yeah, I think he's gonna show some things too. So they're my pick. Um, I want to talk quickly about North Carolina because they won big today. And everybody, of course, they're going to use this as justification for saying that they belong to the tournament, but they really didn't. And the tournament committee really needs to look into it. Well, no, they're not, I mean, I shouldn't even say that. Look, if the Blue Bloods are close, they're going to put them in. I'm surprised Indiana didn't get in, to be honest. But maybe they don't consider them a Blue Blood anymore because they're in the Midwest and they don't really have a big national draw like that anymore. But North Carolina clearly still does, so they weren't going to leave them out. But like, yeah, North Carolina, Duke, Kansas, UCLA, and even UConn, they're not trying to have these teams like not be in a tournament now. So that's just how it is. Unfortunately, I really hate the committee in both football and basketball, but they have the committee so that they can put the teams that they feel that they need to put in to get ratings. I wish they would go to a computer, put the parameters that they feel that are important, and just have them spit out the teams. I think that would be so much better. It would be the randomness of it would be perfect. Is what I like, but you know, the NCAA tournament people they not only put in teams that they want to put in, but they match up certain teams that they want to see in the first weekend with like storylines that they can promote, and it's just rigged. It's completely rigged. It's honestly kind of taking a little bit of the joy out of the whole tournament thing. I mean, I'm still doing it. I still filled out my bracket, but that's really disappointing that they do that. Like, there's no way Calipari and Patino just happen to play in the first weekend, if possible, or Self and Calipari are going to be playing the first day. Like, that's not a coincidence, man. They did that on purpose. There's no way that was just randomly selected. Anyway, it was a good college basketball season for the most part, but yeah, I just wish they would just do better with the way they select these teams. It's just not fun. Anyway, moving on. I was listening to Magic Johnson talk about what he felt like were the issues with the NBA, and obviously he went to load management today. And I just wanted to make a comment about that. So, the, and I thought it was kind of funny because ESPN like went on this like, or at least at least the show Get Up, went on like a tirade on the Nuggets about load management, about how could you rest Jokic and Murray. Dude, the Nuggets play their stars. That is not the issue. The Nuggets are not the team that be resting their players. It's the Sixers, it's the Pelicans, it's teams with Zion, it's Joel Embiid, and people who can't stay healthy. Ben Simmons, you know, Kawhi Leonard when he was with the Clippers, when he was relevant with the Clippers. It's like those were the big issues. You know, Jokic plays pretty much every night. I give Jokic credit. I give Shea Gilgis Alexander credit. Those guys are playing pretty much every night. Like, I'm not gonna, if you're playing 70 games plus, high 60s, I'm not gonna really complain too much about it or whatever. But I mean, maybe more 70 than 60. But if you're pretty much up there, I'm not gonna really question your love of basketball. Unfortunately, you also got to fight these teams that are trying to rest these players. Like, they won't just say, "Oh, we want these guys playing every night." Like, I literally heard Steve Kerr, basically before he even could see how Stephen Curry was doing today, was saying that we're gonna rest him. Rest him for what? Y'all fighting for the 5 seed, and it's funny because this is the funny thing about it is like they rested him and they won. When they had him, they gave this half behind effort against the Nuggets with no Jokic and Murray, and they lost when they didn't have their top two scorers. But then they rest Curry, and then they win the game. It's it's hilarious. It's just funny how this stuff works, man. But I mean, for me, I don't need to see the stars all the time. I mean, it helps obviously. I'd rather see the stars than not see the stars, but it's more the fact that you gotta beg these dudes to play. Like, LeBron has, for 5 years in a row around this time, always sat out and rested or whatever. So, and that's really no. And again, I don't want to get on LeBron because he actually, again, is one of these guys who actually plays most of the time. So really don't want to get on him too much about playing in the regular season. But and he's also old, so but that they are the ones that like I would want to be talking about because but not the Nuggets, dude. Like, the Nuggets are fine. Like, they gotta figure out the teams that are doing the things that they're doing and really go after them. The teams that are actually like trying to play their players, I don't think it's a good idea to jump on them. Uh, he also talked about the All Star game. I don't know what you can do about the All Star game. Like he pointed out, stars don't want to compete, dude. Like, stars don't want to do the dunk contest. Anthony Edwards did this amazing dunk the other day where he was dunking on somebody. Man, dude, it just would be great to see him there, even if you can't do the behind the back, between the legs dunks or whatever. If you just did, a 360. Fans just like to see the best that you can do, whatever that is, man. But and then Imagine Johnson made another good point about how like players are basically openly saying that they don't want to be the face of the league, which was embraced by guys like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, uh, Michael Jordan, Kobe, Shaq, and everything. You know, only person that might have not wanted that is Tim Duncan. But it's not like he openly said it. He just carried himself in a way where he just didn't want to be it. But I don't know. I just think that it's kind of weird that people just are running from that responsibility. They don't want to be that guy. And even when Gilbert Arenas on his podcast said, I'd rather make $300 million than win a championship. Even if that's true, why would you say that out loud? The fans are in this to win championships. Why else am I trying to root for my team? I'm not getting paid. I'm rooting for you to get my team a championship. That's the point of what I'm doing this for. To have fun, be as good as possible, but for the hope of winning a championship. And the fact that there's players that are basically openly admitting that I just want my money, doesn't I don't really care that much about championships. That's weird, bro. Like, and if they're gonna keep this up, viewership is going to continue to go down. They are very fortunate that they were able to get this new deal. And I'm very curious if I'm still alive in the next when this new TV deal runs out, what they're gonna do because this is. I don't think this is really gonna get too much better because it's not just those issues that Magic Johnson brought up. It's the inconsistent refereeing. It's the fact that a fan can see it when a guy is traveling and they don't call it, or a guy is getting fouled and they don't call it, an illegal screen and they don't call it. It's the fact that they have these rules in place where you can't play real defense, and they're basically trying to let the guard get the space he needs to be able to shoot, and and they just put too many of these rules in where it's just like encouraging outside shooting. So yeah, that's just pretty much where I'm at with it, and hopefully it gets better. But I mean, it's just there's just too many of those issues with the referees that really need to be fixed. And honestly, they really need to get rid of the 3 point line, which is the biggest problem. They got rid of the 3 point line. This wouldn't be that bad. They can actually fix these rules. But the 3 point line, they're trying to hold on to it. It's not good for basketball. Big men are like gone. Post up basketball is like gone. Everybody has a stretch four. If they don't have a stretch four, they have some sort of small three. It's it's gone. There's no post up basketball anymore. So the 3 point line has to go, man. Watch how the game opens up. Watch how people start going to the basket more. It would be just a lot better. So that's how I feel about it. Oh yes, one more thing. They also don't call enough fouls in the NBA, and what I mean by that is that they try to keep these stars in the game, or and they ignore a lot of fouls that should be called. And what that does is that you're not getting exposed to the bench players. So the bench players only come in when the guys are tired, and you're thinking, oh, these guys really aren't that good. But if you actually were exposed to them because of just natural fouling, guy gets 2 fouls in the first quarter, he has to come out, and you would actually see that the guy can play, and you might be able to kind of admire him, learn about him, learn about his game, and he become a fan favorite. But they don't do that. They only the bench players only come in when they're supposed to come in, like when the guys get tired, and they're not really getting a chance to really show what they can do. So that's also kind of an issue I have too. So anyway, I don't want to make this video too long. So I appreciate y'all listening to what I'm saying. Thanks.